Good afternoon, class. Now we shall discuss the topic meiosis 2. So basically what is happening, like I told you, meiosis is divided into two steps, meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. So meiosis 1 we have discussed earlier, so now we will discuss about the meiosis 2. Okay, so this meiosis 2 is further divided into four sub phases, that is prophase 2, metaphase 2, anaphase 2 and telophase 2. You can also call it as second. Okay. So now let us study about these phases one by one. First of all, let us talk about prophase second. So basically what is happening in prophase second, it is very much similar with the mitosis. In this, firstly, there is compaction of chromosomes. As you know, the chromosomes, they will get condensed and they will attain a proper distinct shape. So there is compaction of chromosomes, and then the nuclear membrane, it will get disappear. The nucleolus, they will also get disappear. The rest organelles like ER, Golgi bodies, they will also get disappear. So these are the peculiar characteristics that are happening in the prophase second. Now let us talk about the metaphase second. So basically what is happening in metaphase second, the chromosomes, they align at the center. Clear? Suppose here I am having a cell, and as you know, the nuclear membrane has been disappeared in the prophase, so I will not draw the nuclear membrane. Okay, so now basically what is there, the chromosomes, they are freely scattered in the cytoplasm, but they are being attached by the spindle fibers. So here the centrioles are there. They are also, and these two are known as centrosome together. Okay, so instead of this I can write it as centrosome. Two centrioles are there and they togetherly known as centrosome. So what will they do? They results in the formation of spindle fiber, and with the help of these spindle fibers, as you know, these spindle fibers, they will get attached at the kinetochore of the centromere. If I talk about the structure of the chromosome, they are like this. There is centromere at the center, and then there are two sister chromatids. Now if you will see on the centromere, there are small protein, disc-shaped proteinaceous structures are present, which are known as kinetochore. And these kinetochore, these provide a site for the attachment of spindle fibers. Now from here also spindle fibers will arise. Now they will attach with the kinetochore. Clear? Now in the metaphase, the chromosomes, they will align at the center like this. Am I clear? Like this. This plane along which the chromosomes are aligned in the center, this is known as metaphasic plate. So basically in metaphase second, the chromosomes, they are aligned in the center. Am I clear? Now the next is anaphase. So basically metaphase, this is the best phase to study the morphology of the chromosomes. Now the next is anaphase second. Now what will happen in anaphase second? The centromere, it will get split. Suppose here I am having the chromosome like this. Just see. Now in anaphase, what will happen? The centromere will get split like this, and the resultant two sister chromatids, they will get detached and they will start moving to the opposite poles. So in anaphase, what is happening? There is splitting of the centromere. As a result, the two sister chromatids, they will get separate. One will move to one pole and the second will move to the another pole. Now how will they move? Their centromere will be towards the pole and their arms will be lagging behind. This is the one sister chromatid and this is the second. So am I clear with the anaphase? In the anaphase, there in the anaphase second there will be splitting of the centromere, and the resultant sister chromatids, they will start moving towards the opposite poles with their centromere towards the pole, and the arms, they will be lagging behind like this. Now the sister chromatids, they will move to the opposite pole. It will keep on shortening, the spindle fiber will keep on shortening, and finally they will reach to the poles. Am I clear? Like this. Now these sister chromatids, they will be known as the chromosomes of the future daughter cells. Now if I talk about the telophase second, now what will happen in telophase second? As you had seen, the chromosomes, basically the sister chromatids, but now they will be called as the chromosomes of the future daughter cells. So now these chromatids, as you know, they have reached the poles. Now what will happen? They will lose their individual identity, and now they will be in the form of thread-like structure, that is chromatin, that I told you earlier in mitosis also. So here the chromosomes, they will lose their individual identity. Here also. Second, the peculiar thing that is happening in the telophase is the appearance of the nuclear membrane. Now the nuclear membrane, it will appear like this. The rest organelles, they will also get reformed. Now after the telophase, there is a need of cytokinesis so that it can be divided into two. Clear? So after that there will be cytokinesis, and after that the meiosis results in the formation of 4 haploid cells. As you know, we had done meiosis 1. In meiosis 1, it results in the formation of 2 cells from a single cell. Okay. After that there is meiosis 2, which results in the formation of 4 daughter cells. We are studying about one cell, it will divide into 2. Second one is also there simultaneously, it is undergoing the same process, prophase second, metaphase second, anaphase second, telophase second, and then cytokinesis, and at last there is production of 4 daughter cells. And these daughter cells, they are having the half the number of chromosomes as present in the parent cell. If the parent is having 46 chromosomes, then the resultant daughter cells will be having how many chromosomes? 23. Plus the daughter cells, they will be having variations, as I told you in meiosis 1. In meiosis 1, I told you there is crossing over in the packaging stage. So due to that crossing over, the resultant offsprings produced, they will be having variations, they will be having changes when you compare them with the parent. So if I talk about the significance of meiosis, the one significance is this only, that meiosis leads to the variation, and as you know, variations, they are very much essential for the process of evolution. Clear? So first significance of meiosis is variation. Now there is one more significance of meiosis basically. Suppose, let me give an example for this. Suppose in case of human being only, there is male and there is female. Okay, as you know, male is diploid, we are having 46 chromosomes, female is diploid, 46. Now while the mating, while the sexual reproduction, if directly they will meet, then it results in the formation of offspring having 92 chromosomes. That is not at all possible. This is not possible genetically. So what is happening? Firstly, there is meiosis going on. Suppose male is diploid, let it be 2n. Female is also diploid, 2n. So firstly, while the formation of gametes, there is meiosis. Okay. And as a result, the gamete produced, it will be having half the number of chromosome, and when these gametes will fuse, it results in the formation of an offspring that is having the same number of chromosomes that is present in the parent. So basically this is the most important significance of the meiosis, that by the process of meiosis in the diploid organisms, the gametes are being produced which maintains the chromosomal level. Am I clear? Thank you.